The nightcap for the State Farm Champions Classic is going to be a doozy. Number 6 in the nation against number 7 in the nation. That's right, Duke at Kansas in the beginning of November. Are you kidding me? This is a March Madness, a potential Final Four matchup, if you will. We get it before Thanksgiving. Hello, everyone. Welcome to SlasherU. I'm your host, Christian Rao, here with my co-host, Steve Feck, and we're going to preview this game before the Tuesday night tip-off, 9:30 on ESPN. Steve, you were talking when we were previewing the Michigan State-Kentucky game, that this game, these championship series here, this State Farm Champions Classic, let me get it right this time. They're so excited about how good and they think this matchups are going to be that they are postponing the college football rankings until after the series is over.
Right. And this is America. Okay. I mean, if this was like, Estonia or Europe, Yugoslavia, I don't think there's Serbia, we'll say, I don't think there's a Yugoslavia anymore. But that's old land, folks. I remember when there was a Yugoslavia. But, in football crazed America, and certainly the college football playoff, I mean, every network, even like morning shows, those drippy morning shows with the people with the fake smiles on it, are talking about the college football playoff a lot. So if they're going to postpone the announcement of that, that's telling you you're going to have some great matchups here.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this matchup. I think this is going to be one of the best matchups. I think it's the best matchup that we're going to see so far this year until the next game, right? First and foremost, let's just put this disclaimer out to end off that this is not a history podcast. So if you are here for history lessons, take a step back. We're Yugoslavia. Sorry. But back to your regular scheduled program about Duke and Kansas. I think that this game has the opportunity to be one of those 5-star games that we talk about for years to come, but it also has the potential to maybe get the idea of how John Shire is going to act in the press conference after his first loss. That's how I can see that one. I really think Kansas is a really good team. There's a reason they won the national championship, and they're really running it back so far. But Duke's defense has looked really good. They've only averaged, I think, 40-something points. I think it was 41 points against in their 2 games. Now, this is a whole different kind of game going in. Neither of these two squads have faced an opponent like they're about to face with each other in Duke and Kansas. I am really interested to see. We're going to get a true snapshot of what these teams look like. I'm leaning towards Kansas, though, after what I've seen from those 2 games. Duke looked good, especially against Jacksonville, but Kansas really, really wowed me, Steve.
Yeah, and it's funny you mentioned the defense. That is why I can see an avenue where Duke wins a close game down the deal. Both teams are really young. I mean, Kansas lost 4 starters from their national championship team. Now, fortunately, Wilson's back, and he's averaging over 20 points a game and over 10 rebounds a game. So that gives them a calming veteran presence, as they work all the young guys in the lineup. And for Duke, I think it's the same thing. I think their best players are freshmen.
But I think you're on some of them.
Yeah, but and I think you're going to have to look to like Jeremy Roach maybe. Yeah, is going to have to step up and really be the prominent go-to guy early, maybe that first 10 minutes, because I don't care how good a basketball player you are or any athlete you are, when you're facing elite talent and it's a big game and all the eyes are on you, it takes a little while to shake those butterflies off. I mean, that's natural. It doesn't mean that they're weak or they can't play in the big moment. They just haven't played in moments like this yet, so they have to get used to it. So I think early, I think it's going to be a slower pace. I think you're going to see, Kansas going to McCullough and Wilson. You're going to see Duke try to run things, through Roach, and then eventually, I think those young guys are going to step up. I'm curious because, again, I haven't seen live either Kansas or Duke yet. I've watched games condensed or I've seen highlights, but these are one of the few ranked teams that I actually haven't seen yet. And I think I do that because I know I'm going to be watching them a lot throughout the season because they're just 2 teams I always follow. I don't root for them, but I always follow them.
Yeah.
I wonder if Lively perhaps starts to step up his offensive game a little bit. I think it's going to take him several games before he really finds his rhythm on the offensive side. But so if they can play a stingy kind of defense, I think that bodes well for Duke. It's going to be a close game. It's not going to be a blowout, I think, on either side. But I really like what Duke potentially could do as far as shutting Kansas down defensively.
While we've been waiting on Lively and Whitehead, I will say Mark Mitchell has done fantastic in the last two games. We've really seen Mark Mitchell take off. I've liked what Jeremy Roach has done. You can obviously tell he's the leader on this squad. I like this Duke team. I think this Duke team can go deep, and I feel like I'm a little higher on them than most this year, but I just don't know with the injuries and just like you said, with Lively still building up, if they're ready for Kansas this early in the season. I'm going to lean towards Kansas this one, but I think this is one of those games that it could go either way. And if it does go to an ending, it's like at most a 4-point win by either side. But if I had to pick, I'm going to lean towards Kansas in this one. It's going to be a fantastic outing, though. This is the nightcap. If you want to stay up late for this on Tuesday night, I recommend you do, 9:30 Eastern time on ESPN.